evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to New Smyrna Speedway right here in Samsula, Florida. Tonight we have the Fast Action Racing Series returns right here on the iCast Racing Network, powered by iRacing. I am Mike Taylor up in the booth, and I am so excited to be back right here at New Smyrna Speedway. I am very biased for this track, as this track is absolutely my home track. I love this track. I live only 20 minutes from here, so I am super excited to get things ready and running here today at New Smyrna Speedway. I do apologize for not really doing a big intro like I normally do, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm just a little too excited. And before we get underway, let's go ahead and take a look here at a couple things. Give me just one moment. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and head down to the track. As you see, plenty of action currently out on the speedway, as we have quite a few drivers already out here. And let's go ahead and take a moment and run through everybody who we have. First up, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick look here at the number 91 of Dan Adkins out of Milford, Indiana. Dan Adkins, he is your current defending Fast Action Racing Series champion. So we are very excited to have Dan Adkins back this season. And let's now head over to everybody's favorite Canadian, Chris Roberge, out of Courtenay, British Columbia. He's currently the fastest out here at New Smyrna. Thank you. We also have Matthew Stern in that number 4 Skull Chevrolet. He's rejoining us out here. Lucas Edwards, your third place finisher in the point standings last season, that number 87 Lucky Strike. Let's go ahead and come back here. Make sure, let's yep, I do have trading paints up. Just want to make sure I have all the paints running correctly. Let's head over here to Eddie Hawks in that number 15 Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet, as he's whipping around this half-mile speedway. We got Joseph Nelson in that M&M's number 54 Toyota. Joseph Nelson, he's out here joining us once again. Jordan Martin in that number 13 Miller Lite Ford Mustang. He is one of our biggest, one of our owners out here today. Cody Majoric, he is returning with us here as well, but he's currently not out on track for the moment. Give me just one brief moment. Perfect. Just wanted to make sure I had a couple of my things here correctly set up, which I do, so I am very happy with that. Alright, another one, number 89, Jeffrey Engel out of Lincolnton, North Carolina. Good to have him back out, and he will most likely be our in-race uh, reporter. Keegan Browning in that number 53 Mobile 1 Toyota. He is rejoining us once again. Brad Quall Sr. in that number 31 out of Galesburg, Illinois. He's currently not out here on track, but we are excited to have him. And Andrew Schneider out of Erlanger, Kentucky. Glad to have him back out here as well. Let's go ahead and take a ride with Lucas Edwards as they rip around this half mile. This half mile track is a very, very fast half mile speedway, and these drivers have to be careful of that wall coming heading down into turn number 1, because it does jet out just a little bit, as you will see here as he's working around the high side of Jordan Martin. Right there, it jets out right about right there. So these drivers definitely have to be careful when they're running side by side and not to get caught up right there as he bounces off the wall out of turn number 2 by the crossover gate. That is absolutely how fast things are right around this very fast half mile racetrack. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to switch over to qualifying now. And it looks like Eddie Hawks, he will be our first driver to come out here today. As he will loop it over in turn 2. hard impact there for Chris Roberge out of turn 4. Unfortunately, it looks like he will not be able to put in a lap time. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and drop that tower for you. This is going to be our... Oh, we do have one driver still coming back out. That's Andrew Snyder and that number 80 Lucky Charms Chevrolet. What a save there by Andrew Schneider at turn number 4 for his final lap. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it. So far, we have 2 drivers unable to put down the lap times. As you take a look there, Cody Majoric will be on the top of the leaderboard with an 18.06. I'm sorry, 0.086. Let's go ahead and, excuse me, guys. Let's go ahead and drop down this tower and go and do a little bit something I normally don't do. So we are running features here today. So heat number 1 will be 10 laps with the top 4 uh, advancing to the feature. Heat number 2, top 4 will also there advance to the feature. Heat 3, the top 4 there will advance to the feature, but with us only having 12 cars here, or yeah, 12 cars here today, I believe we may only see 2 heat races today, and then if we do need it, we'll have a consolation race that will run for 25 laps, and then we will have the 100 lap feature, and that will have the top 20 drivers uh, in the points, as we have just a little bit over a minute remaining now in this session. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at our starting lineup here for heat number one. It will be Cody Majork in that number 74 machine with an 18.086. To his outside, you will have Lucas Edwards. Uh, I apologize. Jeffrey Engel in that number 89 machine. Eddie Hawks will be on the outside, row number 2 in the number 15 machine. Keegan Browning in the number 53. And Andrew Schneider in that number 80 machine. Before these drivers get underway here, let's go ahead and bring Jeffrey Engel in that number 89 machine down here to the booth. Jeffrey, do you got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
All right, Jeffrey. So you reached out to me saying you wanted to be our in-race reporter for majority of this season. I said, heck yeah, absolutely. Welcome to season 2, buddy. Are you ready, excited, and good to go?
Yeah, I'm ready as I can be right now. I'm looking to see what this race brings. It's going to be a little bit of what ifs, but I'm anxious to see how it's going to go the short track series this season.
Absolutely. New Smyrna Speedway is absolutely one of the hardest race tracks because it may be a short track, but it's very unique in characteristics. What are your expectations for the race today?
Um, I'm expecting to be some fast racing. Expecting to see a lot of fast guys, competitive guys out here. See who's going to really separate themselves from the rest of the field, and see who's going to be the short track specialist for the season. But hmm, a lot of what ifs. I'm gonna say a lot of what ifs and predictions still to come.
Alrighty, Jeff. Good luck this season. Good luck tonight. I'll go ahead and send you back down to the track.
10-4.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Jeff Engel in that number 89 machine out of Lincoln, North Carolina. And I'd say, everybody, let's get this racing underway. This is now heat number 1. It looked like they waved it off for some reason. But they should be good to go this lap as they come out of turn 4. And they are green flag racing right here at New Smyrna Speedway for heat number 1. Cody Major gets out to that early lead, but here comes Lucas Edwards in that number 87. He's looking to make some noise on the outside as Jeffrey Ingles gets loose out of turn 4, but is able to save it. Single file is the way it goes here at New Smyrna Speedway for the time being. And these drivers are hitting just right about where they want to be on track. Lucas Edwards gets a little bit sideways out of turn 4, but he is still going just fine. Let's come back here and take a look at Jeffrey Engel, who's getting a little bit loose out of the corners at the moment, so he's probably not too happy with his loose race car for the moment. Let's come back up here to the front of Lucas Edwards. Oh, and Eddie Hawks has gone around over here in turn 1 and 2, and we are still green flag racing. as he requested now a tow back to the track or into the pits. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give me just a moment here. My overlays have, they decided that they want to go ahead and start freezing up on me for some odd reason, so let's go ahead and give them a quick little reboot. Which is really no big deal for me, as it happens all the time for us here, as it now gets updated here. 3 laps to go. And there it goes. It is now updated. I apologize about that. Let's come back here and take a look at Eddie Hawks, see what's happened to him real quick. As we're not going to see what happened. Alrighty, and here comes Cody Majoric out of turn number 4 to get that white flag in that number 74. He's been very consistent so far and hitting his lap times that he needs to be hitting. So Cody Majoric will come out of turn number 4 this time, and he will see the checkered flag, followed by Lucas Edwards and Keegan Browning. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take a look now at your heat number 1 results. It was Cody Majoric on top with Lucas Edwards in second, Keegan Browning in third, Jeffrey Engel in fourth. Fifth, you have Andrew Schneider, and sixth, you have Eddie Hawks. And let's go ahead and go back down trackside. As we get ready for heat number 2 of the night. Let's take a look. Here at heat number 2 starting grid, you have Dan Adkins on the inside of row on the pole. Outside of him, you got Joseph Nelson starting second. You have Jordan Martin starting on the outside of Jordan. You have Chris Roberge, Matthew Stern to his on the inside of row number 3, and Brad Qualls Sr. He will be on the outside of row number 3. If it looks like how it went during race number 1, things should start getting settled down pretty quick here. As these drivers get ready to go green flag racing. And Dan Adkins, your last season champion, he will get out to an early lead as they dive down in turn number 1 with side-by-side racing going on behind them. The 54 Joe Nelson looking to the outside of Martin, wanting to take over that second spot as he gets major loose. And Brad Quall Sr. hard into the wall on the front straightaway. As we have the 54 Joseph Nelson goes around. And that will bring out our first caution of the night. Let's go back, take a look. As you see here, the 13 of Martin gets loose, and that drives him up into the side of Joseph Nelson, and that will bring him around on the exit of turn number 2. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we should be getting the one to go signal this time by the one and only Barney up in the flag stand here at New Smyrna Speedway. And the lights are off on the pace car. We are going to go green flag racing this time. Looks like they're going to be doing single file restarts. Dan Atkins will be leading this field, followed by Chris Roberge in that number 9 machine. Nice and easy does it for these drivers as they continue to wind down the laps. And Dan Atkins brings the field to the green flag at turn number 4, single file, as they dive down now into turn number 1 and 2. And Chris Roberge of that number 9 Monster Energy Ford Mustang, he's looking to get onto the inside of Dan Atkins. And Atkins goes up and almost taps the wall out of turn number 4, which loses some momentum, and that puts Chris Roberge right on the back bumper of Dan Atkins. Dan Atkins looks to the inside Roberge looks to the inside of Dan Atkins as Atkins gets into the wall, and Roberge will take over that top spot as Matthew Stern loops it on the back straightaway, here on the front straightaway, and caution will come out once again. Let's come back and take a look, see what happened to Matthew Stern out of turn number 4. As he just got too much gas in it coming out of turn number 4. These drivers have to be careful on the exit of turn 4 because the transition is so wild here that if they are not careful, it can bite you, just as we saw here with Matthew Stern in that number 4 Skoal Chevrolet. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are doubled up, and we are green flag racing once again here at New Smyrna Speedway. Chris Roberge on the inside, Dan Atkins on the outside as they still run side by side at turn number 2. Drag racing down the back straightaway down in turn number 3. Chris Roberge currently has that line, but Dan Atkins, he wants it on that outside. One of the things I absolutely love here about New Smyrna Speedway is the side-by-side action you can get, as these drivers are proving my point right now as they dive heavy down into turn number 3. And here comes Jordan Martin in that number 13 Miller Lite machine as he's looking to try to overtake these drivers for that top spot, as we have just 2 laps to go this time by when they come across the start finish line. Still side by side, Dan Atkins, Chris Roberge still running side by side down the front straightaway. 2 laps to go in this heat number 2 feature. Really good racing out front. Dan Atkins is able to slightly pull in front of Chris Roberge, but Roberge, he fights hard on the inside here as they come out turn 4. White flag this time by Dan Atkins has the line, it seems, out of these corners as he gets a really good run, and he's going to be able to pull out right in front of Chris Roberge. One final dodge here by Roberge as Jordan Martin pushes the 9. Both cars into that wall, and it will be Dan Atkins at the line. That was an incredible finish there for race number 2. Let's go ahead and come back, take a look at your results for Heat 2. that is definitely not the results for heat number 2. I apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and show you the results for heat number 2. Dan Adkins was able to use that outside, get around Chris Roberge. Jordan Martin was right there at the end as well. And then Joseph Nelson, Matthew Stern, and Brad Paul Sr. Let's go ahead and take a look at our 25 lap uh, consolation race. We're right here at New Smyrna Speedway. It's going to be Andrew Schneider on the inside of row number 1. Outside, you're going to have Matthew Stern. Eddie Hawks will be in the inside of row 2 with Brad Quall Sr. on the outside of row 2. As the drivers will get the one to go signal as they all gave the thumbs up for a clean track. And let's get this thing underway. 25 laps here for the consolation. You have Lucky Charms versus Skull versus Hulu versus Bass Pro Shop. As they come out of turn number 4, and we are green flag racing. Matthew Stern gets an amazing jump out of the corner, and he will quickly overtake for that top spot as the two drivers, as Brad Paul Sr. hits the outside wall coming out of turn 2, and now we have a battle for second here. Eddie Hawks looks onto the inside of Andrew Schneider as they drag race down the front straightaway. Schneider will currently take the position, and here comes Brad Quall Sr. to the outside of Eddie Hawks. Eddie Hawks is one of your local drivers here as well. He is just about, maybe like 15 minutes away from me over in beautiful Sanford, Florida. So this is also his home track out here as well, as they continue to run single file here at New Smyrna Speedway, coming out of turn number 4. As we have 22 laps to go. What is up with my overlays today? As we come back over here and take a look at Matthew Stern, for some odd reason, that is not wanting to work here for me, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to go ahead and pull up the tower here off to the side. We take a look here at Matthew Stern getting chased down by Andrew Schneider in that number 80 machine as they exit. Hold on to it, Andrew. What an incredible save by Andrew Schneider in that number 80 Lucky Charms Chevrolet. And that allows Brad Quall Sr. to get back to the back bumper of that number 80 machine as they come out of turn number 4. They continue to run side by side, tracking down the number 4 machine of Matthew Stern. Andrew Schneider out of Erlanger, Kentucky. He's made the trip down here to Samsula, Florida for this event here today. And this here is going to be your iCast Racing 100. I actually got, as a joke, I was talking to Jordan Martin in the number 13. He's uh, one of the owners of this league, and I was like, I'll tell you what, I'll come back if we get New Smyrna Speedway as race number 1 of season 2, and he says done. And so that is why New Smyrna Speedway is right here on this schedule, and I'm actually super excited to have these ARCA cars ripping around this speedway. As you see, these drivers are not letting each other get very far out of their uh, views as the top 3. You could just pretty much throw a blanket under them, as we have just about 12 laps to go this time. This track is probably one of the hardest tracks uh, in the world, for short tracks, as you know, the late Richie Evans says, if you can win at New Smyrna, you can win anywhere. This track is a very characteristic, I should say, as these drivers, like up here, over here in turn number 1, as you see, these drivers kind of run a little bit up off of that yellow, and then when they dive down here, coming through turns 3 and 4, they're pretty much glued to that inside lane, as for some reason that just being like a foot or two up off the yellow here in turns 1 and 2, it's one of those very odd, quicker ways to get around the speedway, and I don't know how to explain it. As we got a run from Andrew Schneider on the inside of Matthew Stern, as they bump and lean on each other through turns 1 and 2, as they now drag race down the back straightaway, diving down into turn number 3 and 4. Up the track goes Matthew Stern, and here comes Brad Quall Sr. as Matthew Stern gets super sideways out of turn number 4, and Brad Quall Sr. is working the outside now of Andrew Schneider. And with that arc, that's going to bring in Brad Quall Sr. out to that second spot there, but they're still running side by side behind them. What an incredible run here. Now Brad Quall Sr. in that number 31 Hulu Chevrolet. He is now has his eyes set on the race leader Matthew Stern. He's like, watch out, Andrew. It's my turn to try and attack Matthew Stern, as we have just 5 laps to go this time by, as they dive down here into turn number 1. What an incredible turn of events there for Brad Quall Sr. Andrew Schneider went to on the attack, unable to complete it, and that allowed Brad Quall Sr. to make a run. And Brad Quall Sr., he is now right onto the back bumper of Matthew Stern. He is looking to possibly make some sort of move, as we are going to come to 3 to go this time by. Matthew Stern gets a little bit loose, and that will possibly allow... No, Brad Quall Sr. had a little bit of a rough exit there as well, as he gets right back to the back bumper of Stern, and he's going to look to the inside, heading towards 3, but he will tuck right back behind. 2 laps to go this time by, as they come down the front straightaway, down into turn number 1 and 2 once again. And here he comes, going to try to attack on the inside, which he cannot do, as they march their way through turns 3 and 4. This time, white flag is out for Matthew Stern. Can he hold on to that top spot in this consolation race? And Andrew Schneider turns the 31, but he will allow the 31 to get himself put straight again. And Matthew Stern will come out of turn number 4 as your consolation race winner, followed by Brad Quall Sr. and Andrew Schneider in 3rd, followed by Eddie Hawks in that number 15 machine. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be your starting lineup for today's event. Cody Majoric is going to be on the inside of row number 1 with Dan Atkins to his outside. Lucas Edwards will be on the inside row number 2 with Gross Burge on the outside. Keegan Brown on the inside row number row number 3. And Jordan Mountain on the outside of row number 3. Jeff Engel will be on the inside row 4 with Joseph Nelson. Row 5 is going to be Matthew Stern, Brad Quall Sr. Row 6, you have Andrew Snyder and Eddie Hawks. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this thing now underway as your drivers get ready to come out of turn number 4, and we are green flag racing here once again at Smyrna Speedway. Cody Majoric gets a good run on the start of this race, but Dan Atkins is holding strong to the outside as he bounces off the wall and coming out of turn number 2. Side-by-side racing for this top spot as they complete number 1. Dan Atkins bounces off the wall once again. That'll give the race lead over to Cody Majoric as Lucas Edwards, he is now looking to make some noise in that top 2. Unable to make it, but here comes Chris Roberts to the outside of Lucas Edwards in that number 9 Monster Energy, and hard hit in the back for Jeffrey Engel, and that will bring out our first caution. A very hard hit there for Jeffrey Engel. Let's come back here and take a look and see what happened coming out of turn number 4. It looks like he got the 54 got to the inside, and he just overcorrected heavy into the outside wall as you see Brad Qualls Sr. and Matthew Stern both getting involved in that. Joseph Nelson in that number 54 machine with a heavy impact to Jeffrey Engel as he's finally getting his car pointed in the right direction here. As we see Chris Roberge in that number 9 Monster Energy, he's going to come down pit road along with Matthew Stern. These drivers are going to want to make it quick because laps go fast here at New Smyrna, and it is easy to get stuck a 1 lap down as you see Chris Roberge in and out of his pit stop. Just about 5 laps in the books here. 94 laps remaining here at New Smyrna Speedway as these cars will line up now here, single file. A lot of action happening right here at the very start of this race. And the pace car is off, and we are green flag racing once again. Cody Majoric brings the field to the green. And Jordan Martin in that number 13, he makes a quick run to the inside of the 87 of Lucas Edwards as they come down the back straightaway, and he is unable to get the job done, but he gets right back to the back bumper of your 3rd place finisher in the point standings last season He's starting to make himself known here on the short tracks. Jordan Martin up there in that number 13. Let's come back a little bit more here through the field. Take a look here at the number 54 M&M's Toyota. As you see everybody currently running single file. Let's move back up here through the field. We do have a caution. Let's take a look, see what happens here. It looks like it's for Eddie Hawks. Let's come back here, take a look, see what happened to Mr. Hawks and that number 31 Hulu Chevrolet as he comes out of turn number 4. He just, oh, it was for the 15. There's Eddie Hawks. Yeah, I thought that was a weird number for Eddie Hawks. Let's just go back just here a little bit, see what happened to Eddie out of turn number 4. And it looks like he just got loose trying to get on that throttle, and he will barely touch that inside wall. No harm, no foul for the number 15 machine. The lights are off on the pace car right here at New Smyrna Speedway. We will have 86 laps to go when the drivers come back around. Cody Majoric in that number 74 will bring him into the restart zone. Dan Atkins to his outside. Let's see if he can get another decent jump, in which he does, and we are green flag racing, but this time Dan Atkins, he stays with him. The wall jumped out and bit Jordan Martin there, as you saw. I talked about that early on in the first heat race. You want to be very careful with that as these drivers run around this speedway. As we ride on board here with Lucas Edwards in that number 87 machine, and he gets a bump to Jordan Martin, and Jordan Martin, he will go around here in turn number 1, and Schneider and Eddie Hawks will be involved here as well, and Jeffrey Engel as well. Very unfortunate here for these drivers. Let's go back here, take a look, see what happened further back here in the pack. So we know Jordan Martin got turned there, and further, Jeffrey Engel just ran into the back of Brad Qualls. As we saw Andrew Schneider, he got looped around coming out of turn number 2. Let's come back here, take a look here. As he went down to avoid the spinning car, and he comes right down in front of the 4. And that was just on a series of unfortunate events there as they come out of turn 2 to miss that spinning 13 car of Jordan Martin. That was a very strong run there for the 13 car, but there's still plenty of time to get back up here towards the front, as Dan Atkins shows that he was the race leader when the caution came out, so he will lead his first few laps here at New Smyrna. As we take a look here, Jeffrey Engel unable to get his car to rotate to get down pit road, so he will go ahead and request a tow. Darren Atkins will bring the field back to the green flag as he gets a phenomenal jump, and it seems like Cody Majoric just did not go, jumbling up the field behind him. And here comes Lucas Edwards trying to see if he can get himself around that number 74 as he looks to the outside on the exit of turn 4, unable to make it happen as he now flies down the front straightaway. Majoric slightly tapping the wall there as here comes Edwards looking to the inside, unable to make it happen still as they come flying down the back straightaway back into turn number 3. Oh, big loose out of Cody Majoric, and that will allow Edwards to take around the outside. And here comes Joseph Nelson looking to the outside as well, unable to make the pass as they dive down here in turn number 3. That was a big slide by Cody Majoric out of turn 4 that last time by. The 54 still trying to work on the back bumper of that 74 as both drivers get loose. And now Lucas Edwards, Dan Atkins, your first and third point standing drivers right back where they were. And as you noticed, I haven't talked about your second place finisher in the points of Dakota LaRue. Dakota LaRue, he's not much of a short track driver, so he said he's going to sit out this season. What a loser. No, I'm kidding, Dakota. I love you, buddy. Wish you were out here. If you would like to join me up in the booth, you are more than welcome to at any point in time. As we have Keegan Browning in that 53 spins it and turns 3. And that will bring out our third or fourth caution of the day. Let's go back here, take a look, see what happened to Keegan as they entered down into turn number 3. Looks like he's trying to go to the inside of the 54 of Joseph Nelson. Just a little too much breakage there, and he will slide up into the middle of 3 and 4. Not fully loop it, but just enough for the officials to call the caution here at New Smyrna Speedway. Atkins brings him back to the green flag here at New Smyrna Speedway. Gets a pretty decent run. And here comes the 74 Cody Majork looking to the inside of Edwards for that second spot, unable to make it happen. And here comes everybody's favorite Canadian. He's trying to make a run for that top three, but unable to get it as he gets pinched. Oh, as he makes a crossover move. The 54 goes around. And he's able to keep it straight, but the caution will come back out. Let's go back and take a look. As they come here into turn number one. He gets a little love tap there from the 4, and he will... He was able to keep it nice and straight here. And so that was really good heads up driving by that number 54 of Joseph Nelson after getting tapped in the rear by Matthew Stern. As we will line them up and do it again. Ladies and gentlemen, let's come back here and take a look. Well, I mean, I guess it would help if I did that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it looked like the 4-car, he did get into... Let's come back here and take a look here for you guys. I know that you guys missed it, but as they come out of turn number 4, the 4-car just, or 54 just pulls up a little bit there in front of the 4, and that caused Joseph Nelson to loop it around. I do deeply apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no! The view you never want to see on a broadcast. I just showed it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Dan Atkins bringing them back to the green flag as they look into turn number 1 here once again. Chris Roberge, he's looking to make a run now on the inside of second place, but here comes Lucas Edwards trying to get back to that back bumper of Dan Atkins, and currently he's unable to do that as we drop back here to the number 4. I am now seeing my overlays have currently stopped working. I'm gonna have to fire our tech producers, aka myself. It's not found. Clearly it's there because I'm seeing it on my screen, but you guys are not. As we continue to watch this battle here for 5th place, and here comes Jordan Martin attacking on the inside to take over that 5th spot. As they now get a decent green flag run in. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, just bear with me here just for a moment as I start to tackle and take on SDK Gaming so that we can get these overlays back up and running for you as we see things start to pan out here under this green flag run. As we move up here to your race leader, the number 91 of Dan Atkins. It's not. What? Again, I apologize here, ladies and gentlemen, as these drivers continue to put down laps here at New Smyrna Speedway. 50 laps to go this time by. We are now officially halfway through this race here at New Smyrna Speedway. There it goes. These drivers continue to sort things out as I sort things out here up here in the tech booth. But let's drop back here to this battle between the 74, the 9, and the 13 of Cody Majoric, Chris Roberge, and Jordan Martin. These guys are starting to put on a good show here for the third spot. As we jump back down here to Keegan Browning and Brad Quall Sr. Sr. bounced off the turn 2 wall this last time by, as we did finally catch up with him. Let's back up here to our top, third, fourth, and fifth. Martin looked like he had a decent run this last time by, as Majoric hits the wall pretty hard there on the exit of turn 2, but so far that's not slowing down that number 74 Bass Pro Shop Ford Mustang. And here comes everybody's favorite Canadian onto the inside of that number 74 machine, unable to make it work. And he's going to keep trying to figure out ways to get around that number 74 to get onto the podium. Oh, big slide by the 74, and that will allow Chris Roberge to get a run on the outside. The outside lane has a lot of momentum out of these corners as they drag race down into turn number 3. Now we have a run here Oh, big trouble. Big trouble here on the front straightaway. As the 74 got loose and slid up into the 9, who slid up into the 13, but all three drivers keep their noses facing in the right direction. Jordan Martin tried to give it a little much, too much throttle there out of turn 2. As everybody starts now to get a little bit spread out here for 3rd through 5th. As we see Dan Adkins now starting to put cars a lap down as he gets to the back bumper of Joseph Nelson, that number 54 M&Ms, but he's not making it easy for the race leader to get around him. As he finally works his way around Joseph Nelson, putting him the second car only a lap down so far in this race as we come to 36 to go this time by. And now Lucas Edwards getting his work done around that lap car as he sets his eyes now on your your defending championship leader. I'm sorry about the dog in the background. He's my little drama king, and he'll bark at anything and everything, I'm telling you. Ladies and gentlemen, we did get word that the number 89, Jeffrey Engel, did pack it up for the evening. Let's go ahead and see if he is still down there, and we'll see if we can drag him back here into the booth with us. Which, it does not look like he is here in Discord. Jeff, if you are watching, buddy, get yo sorry booty up here into the booth. I love you, Jeff. Come join me. You know you're always more than welcome to join. Andrew Schneider looks like he just had some issues in that number 80 machine here in 3 and 4. Let's go ahead and go back here, take a look, see what happened to him as on the exit turn 4. Oh, he hit the wall. Oh, heavy hard impact here for him as he's now having issues getting that car to go straight, it seems. It looks like he is good to go as we now ride back on board with him. Yeah, his wheels are on the front here are broken some. So that's going to be hard for Andrew Schneider to drive. We now have a caution. Joseph Nelson has looped it. That's not Joseph Nelson. Here he is. Here's Joseph Nelson as he comes out of turn 4 and loops it and hard into the inside wall, and that will bring out our caution. ladies and gentlemen, big turn of events. It looks like Dan Atkins in that number 91 machine got caught speeding down pit road. And we are going to get ready to go back. Green flag racing, 24 or 23 laps to go this time by. As Lucas Edwards, he will take to the point now with Chris Roberge on the outside. Now remember, Chris Roberge, he is still looking for his first win here in the Fast Action Racing Series League. He has been very, very strong every single race, but he's just been very not on. He just hasn't been able to make it happen. But he is still staying comfortably right there in that second spot. So that's a very good spot for him. Eddie Hawks has gone around as he moves away from the crash scene. Let's go back here, take a look, see what happened. Looks like he got help from that 80 machine. And now we are back under caution for Matthew Stern in that number 4 machine. Let's take a look here and see what happened. Same thing that happened to quite a few drivers already. Just tried to get into the gas, probably a little too hard there on exit. But luckily that was not too much of a hard hit there. Really tough break there for Matthew Stern in that number 4 machine. We should be getting that 1 to go signal this time by. And the lights are now off on the pace car. So Fred will bring that pace car back down onto pit road. Barney has the flag up in the air, getting ready to bring these guys back. Green flag racing. It is going to be in the hands of the 87 of Lucas Edwards. And to his outside, Chris Roberge. Hopefully this time, Chris can get a better start and stay right there side by side with Lucas as they enter turn 1. So let's see what happens this time by. Pace car is off. It's in the hands of Lucas Edwards, and they are off. This time, Edwards does not get a decent jump. I'm sorry, Roberge does not get a decent jump, but he will have enough jump there to keep into that second spot. As we have the 80 car slipping and sliding as they come out of turn number 2. Couple cars bounce off turn 4 wall, as you saw there once again. Jordan Martin gets turned by the 80, but he keeps it straight, so we stay green flag. Oh, hard hit by Jordan Martin there. Eddie Hawks has gone around once again. Let's take a look here, see what happened to Eddie. As they come down here into... he gets turned by the 54, but the 54 was like, hey, I will put you straight again. Still no caution. Let's come back out here to the front. Lucas Edwards continues to lead this field. Everybody's favorite Canadian. He's still trying to get to the back bumper now of Lucas Edwards. He still desperately wants to get that first win here, like I said, in Fast Action Racing Series. Laps quickly winding down now throughout as this field marches around this beautiful half-mile speedway. As Cody Majork now looks to the inside of Chris Roberge, unable to make it happen down into turn number 3, but that's not going to stop him from continuing to try to get to the inside of Chris Roberge. Here they come now, getting ready to pass the number 80 of Andrew Schneider, who's coming out of the pits. 10 laps to go. Barney gives off that 10-finger salute, signifying the 10 laps to go, as these drivers are now going to start ramping up, as Cody Majork continues to try to fight his way around as they work their way around the number 15 of Eddie Hawks. Eddie Hawks giving them no issues on that inside. Cody Majork gets sideways there in that number 74 machine once again, and that's going to bring Brad Quall Sr. more or closer to him as they start marching through this field. The 4 car running side by side here with the 91 of Dan Atkins for that 6th spot. Atkins still trying to work his way back towards the front of this field after that that speeding on pit road penalty, as they continue to run side by side here around New Smyrna Speedway. Coming out of turn number 4, Atkins keeps getting a little bit sideways with Matthew Stern on the inside, and he'll finally pull out in front of Matthew Stern. So Dan Atkins will work his way back up into that 5th spot. Let's come back up here as we take a look here at Cody Majork, still having issues trying to get traction under those tires to bring him back to the rear bumper of Lucas Edwards as they come down back straight back into turn number 3. 5-finger salute coming from Barney, our flagman, signifying 5 laps to go. Time is running out here for Cody Majork. Less than 2 miles left, or no, just about 2 miles left here at New Smyrna Speedway, as we now have 4 laps to go. He's got to pull some magic trick out of that hat if he wants to get back to the rear bumper of Lucas Edwards in that number 87 machine, Mr. Watermelon Man out of Westerly, Rhode Island. He's looking to continue his dominance from last season and transfer it right over here to the Short Track Thunder Series for Fast Action Racing Series. As they come out of turn 2 back down in turn number 3, the popsicle sticks are up in the air from Barney as Cody Majork once again gets sideways out of turn 4. And that is not going to work for Cody Majork. I don't think he's going to have what it takes to get back to the back bumper of Lucas Edwards. White flag is out, this time by for the 87 Lucas Edwards. And Cody Majork finally takes it around on the back straightaway up against the wall. Everybody needs to stay to the inside. Cody Majork tried to get the best of it. Unable to do it. We will stay green flag as he pulls away. Very unfortunate there for Cody Majork. And out of turn number 4, race 1 winner, Lucas Edwards in that number 87 Toyota Camry. What an incredible run here as he starts celebrating, almost celebrating a little too hard there. Coming out of turn 4, he will loop it right here on the front straightaway. As you see Chris Roberge gonna bring it down to victory lane. Lucas Edwards he's gonna back it down in front of Chris Roberge, and he is going to burn it down, ladies and gentlemen. The number 87 Lucas Edwards, he will be joined in doing donuts by second place Chris Roberge. What an incredible turn of events here, ladies and gentlemen. And let's get let's get to it, guys. Let's start bringing some of these drivers. Let's try to get some of these drivers up here into the booth. First and foremost, let's get Brad Qualls, senior out of Galesburg, Illinois. I am super excited for this one, but is he not in Discord anymore? One moment.
Whew.
Hello, everybody. It's Mike up in the booth. Is Brad Qualls Sr. not here?
Believe so.
I don't know.
You know what? What a loser. Okay. Let me go ahead and get second place. Chris Roberge down here into the booth. Uh, Chris Roberge, driver of the number 9 out of Courtenay, British Columbia. Everybody's favorite Canadian. How you doing today, Chris?
I'm doing wonderful here.
Chris, what a wonderful way to start off season 2 of your campaign here with Fast Action Racing Series in the short track Thunder Series. So you brought up home second at New Smyrna Speedway, very tough track. What were your thoughts on today's race?
The race was pretty good. It was really tough too because practices it was a little different. I know my car was fast. I was trying to get a 17 second, but that didn't work well. But it's okay. I was fast in practice. I know I had a good chance to get at least a podium. Well, I did. My first time of the season already. And I haven't got anything from last season, so I might as well get at least a podium top. So I finally did. The track is pretty good. It was tough to pass for a while. Dan and I were having a little battle for the heat race there. The outside is pretty strong. The inside is pretty strong. It was pretty, a tough track for sure.
Yeah, New Smyrna Speedway is definitely one of the most fun but yet frustrating tracks. Um, I said during the broadcast, I live only 20 minutes from this track. I've actually raced around this track, and the late great Richie Evans, his statement was, if you can win at New Smyrna Speedway, you can win anywhere. So that just points right there. This is a tough little track, and you were able to conquer it and come home second. Is there anybody that
Oh
you would
yeah,
like? Is there anybody you'd like to thank before I send you back down?
yeah. So I want big thanks to you broadcasting for sure. Thanks for our team here with Dan and Lucas. Good job there, my teammate Lucas there. Other people who be watching, like my wife, a couple of my racing leagues I'm in, Chop Stop Racing, and the other one is uh, other race I'm in.
Alrighty, Chris. Congratulations on your second place, and we will see you next week. Ladies and
Oh yeah,
gentlemen, Chris Roberge, number 98. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's get your race winner of Lucas Edwards up here in the booth. Mr. Edwards, Watermelon Man, do you got a copy?
I do. I do.
Hmm?
I got a copy.
Awesome. Alrighty, Lucas Edwards. Looks like you're just going to start off exactly where you left off last season. Coming out here dominating the field here at New Smyrna Speedway. We've seen a lot of issues coming out of turn number 4. I think I saw you slip a couple times as well. Um, what's your thoughts on today's race? And uh, with this win, how's your season looking from here?
Well, I mean, the race started off a little rough, but we're all trying to get back, being used to each other on a short track. But I think the race went pretty well, especially with that long green flag run we had in there. The track was extremely slick, so that didn't help. But uh, starting off with a win is always great. I think it belonged to Dan if he didn't get that penalty, but
Yeah, I was
I
about
don't
to
think I
actually
really had
ask.
anything for him.
I was about to ask, if he didn't have that speeding penalty down on pit road, would you have anything for Dan? And well, you just answered that question for me. Is there anybody that you would like to thank before we head out of here?
Uh, I'd like to thank my friends if they're still watching this season. I know they're normally in the chat cheering me on.
Yeah, that's
Thank you
normal.
for, yeah. I'd like to thank you for doing the broadcast.
Oh, it's
But
my absolute pleasure. I absolutely love working with FARS, and this group really has a great group of drivers here, and so I'm absolutely honored, and I love working here with you guys. So looking for another good season.
yeah, me too. Great way to start off.
Absolutely. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, your iCast Racing 100 winner, Lucas Edwards. We'll see you next week, bud, and we'll catch you later. Oh, we have somebody that just spoke in chat here. Simoleons 4630 says, "I was here, Lucas for champion." So you've got somebody out here cheering you on here once again. So let me go ahead and throw you back up in the booth. You got one win this season. That's going to make four altogether. Lucas Edwards, driver of the number 87 machine. We will see you next week, bud.
All right, see you next week.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to bring one person up here into the booth. He's probably absolutely going to hate me, but Dan Atkins, do you got a copy? Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm getting the silent treatment. Dan Atkins, you got a copy? Alrighty. Yeah, I think he may be away from his racing rig at the moment, but I want to go ahead and bring down Jordan Martin, driver of the number 13 machine. So, Jordan, do you got a copy, boss?
I do, sir. How's it going?
It's going, buddy. All right, so I'm just dragging you down here. We decided to do short track. Well, I guess you guys decided to do short track racing this season, and switch up the cars from the Xfinity and trucks into the ARCA cars on short tracks. With this race now under the books, do you believe that was the right call? And are you looking forward to the rest of the season?
I think it's still the right call. I think this race went better than probably most expected. I think 99% of the cautions we had tonight were just accidents. It wasn't anybody, over driving it or trying to do too much. I think it was just these cars were loose at that track on exit. They're loose under braking, and you just got to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, the saying, slogan for this track is, I'm saying it for now for the third time because it's so true, and it was said by Richie Evans. If you can win at New Smyrna Speedway, you can win anywhere because this track, it is just, it may just be, it looks like your cookie cutter half mile speedway, but let me tell you what, it's a whole nother beast once you actually get out on track.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I really appreciate you, choosing this track as a season opener, as it was my request. I absolutely love it. And you guys have put on a really awesome show for me up here in the booth. So I'm definitely grateful for that and looking forward to the rest of the season.
I'm glad you had a good time, man. I know there was a lot of yellow flag laps, but I feel like the green flag laps we had, it was definitely some good racing going on everywhere on the track. So hopefully we can keep that up, and maybe every race this season will get a little bit more green and more green. And with these smaller tracks, it's going to keep everybody close. So it should be exciting every week.
Absolutely. Alrighty, Jordan. I'm going to go ahead and send you back up and finish out this broadcast, brother. We'll see you next week. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a Jordan Martin in that number 13 machine. Alrighty, let's go ahead and quickly get this now all back, you know, taken up. So I don't take up much more of your time here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and take a look now. I was going to say, let's take a look at our bring it back up. That's why it's not working. Let's go ahead and take a look here at our race results, ladies and gentlemen. As I hide the correct filter this time, ladies and gentlemen, Lucas Edwards is going to win this race for round number 1 here at New Smyrna Speedway, followed by Chris Roberge. Another strong finish for everybody's favorite Canadian. He's going to be super strong all season long, I feel. Brad Quall Sr. in that number 31 machine was able to sneak it up into the top 3. So very strong run and promising, start to this season here for that number 31 Chevrolet driver. Dan Atkins, after that speeding penalty, dropped all the way back to the 10th spot, and he was able to work his way back up to the 4th spot. Keegan Browning out here in the number 53 Toyota. He put on a good show out here for everybody, working his way back up to the 5th spot. Matthew Stern, after that late race spin, he was able to work his way up to 6th. Cody Majoric, as you guys saw, with just a couple laps, or on that final lap, he wrecked it coming out of turn number 4. He will drop all the way back to the 7th spot. Tough race for Eddie Hawks out of Sanford, Florida, in that number 15 machine. He had a lot of issues there. He's finished a couple laps down. Andrew Schneider, he had issues late race, dropped himself a couple laps down as well. And then Jordan Martin in that number 13 machine will bring it home 10th. Joseph Nelson in that number 54 will bring it home 11th. And rounding out the field with a very early exit for Jeffrey Engel after that massive hit on the front straightaway. Ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible start to season 2 of the Fast Action Racing Series for the Short Track Thunder Series. We are looking forward to the rest of the season. So please, ladies and gentlemen, come back next week as we will get to do it all over again. And oh, here it is. As we return, and we are going to go to Dover, over in Dover, Delaware. Gonna hit up the Munster Mile for 125 Super Speedway racing. Okay, it's not Super Speedway, but it's gonna be a good show next week. Dover always puts on an amazing race. So we look forward to seeing you next week right here, same time, same place, right here on the iCast Racing Network. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, happy time zones. See you next week, live from Dover.
This has been a production of the iCast Racing Network, powered by iRacing. Thank you for your continued support. Don't forget to like and subscribe for notifications for all of our live events right here on YouTube and Twitch. We would like to thank SDK Gaming for their production overlays that makes this event enjoyable. Until next time, happy time zone.